If you had told BL fans a year ago that GMMTV's next big pairing would be an idol and a professional swimmer, they probably wouldn't have believed you. And yet, here we are. Out of nowhere, William and Est have exploded in popularity, and it all started with a series that almost never even got made. When ThamePo was announced at GMMTV's Up and Above Part 2 event, nobody expected it. Lycan had just finished performing Charm, and then boom. Out of nowhere, GMMTV dropped the first trailer for a series starring an idol group and introducing a completely new CP. Fans were shocked. The internet went wild, and just like that, William and Est were on everyone's radar. But how did we get here? And more importantly, was it just a one-time project? Or are we looking at GMMTV's next big BL couple? Let's break it down. If you're new here, hi, I'm Blush, your go-to BL series analyst and professional overthinker, bringing you the industry tea. Basically, I watch too many BLs, scream about them on the internet, and then turn all my thoughts into these videos so you don't have to spiral alone. Feel free to subscribe if you want to spiral with the rest of us. Let's get into it. William may be young. He's not even 20 yet, believe it or not, but he's already built an impressive career. Before joining GMMTV, he was part of a band called Broccoli, where he was both the vocalist and guitarist. The group gained fans through street performances, showcasing his raw musical talent from an early age. Then in 2022, he entered Project Alpha, an idol survival show produced by GMMTV. Throughout the competition, William constantly proved himself with exceptional vocal abilities and stage presence, earning the title of Alpha of the Week multiple times. His hard work paid off when, in March 2023, he was crowned the winner of Project Alpha. Following his victory, he officially debuted as the main vocalist of the boy group Lycan under Riser Music, a subsidiary of GMMTV, alongside Tui, Nut, Hong, and Lego. While pursuing his idol career, William was also a territorial defense student. In Thailand, all men must go through military conscription at age 21, where they draw a lottery to determine if they must serve for 2 years. However, many students, especially from middle-class families, choose to complete a 3-year military training program called Territorial Defense Training, which grants them exemption from the lottery. Shortly after his debut with Lycan, the group released their first single, May I, marking their entry into the T-pop scene. But what truly put William in the spotlight was his OST, Last Twilight, for Jimmy C's hit BL series of the same name. The drama became one of the most awarded series of the year, and having his already amazing OST attached to such a high-profile project ensured that it didn't go unnoticed. A few months later, in October 2023, William and his Lycan members had their acting debut in a short film, No Worries. The emotional story follows 2 ghosts who take a trip to the world of the living on Halloween night. The film is available on Riser Music's YouTube channel if you guys are interested. This was a great way to do a test run for the group's acting potential, giving fans a first glimpse of them as actors, not just idols. But what came next, no one could have predicted. Fast forward 6 months later, in April 2024, GMMTV held its GMMTV 2024 Part 2 event, revealing the second half of its 2024 drama lineup, and well, we'll get to that soon. Now, where does Est fit into all of this? And what does a professional swimmer have to do with a group of idols? Let's take a look at his journey so far. Unlike William, Est didn't start in the entertainment industry. His background is in professional swimming. He began swimming at just 5 years old, and by 7 he was already competing. His talent quickly set him apart, and by age 12 he earned a spot on Thailand's national swim team. In 2023, he made history, helping Thailand break national swimming records at the 32nd Southeast Asian Games. But despite his athletic career, Est found his way into acting. His BL career began in 2020 when he landed a supporting role in Love by Chance Season 2. Then in 2023, he took on another supporting role in Domundi's Naughty Babe. That same year, he made a big move, joining GMMTV. His first acting projects under GMMTV were supporting roles in Beauty Newbie and High School Frenemy. Neither of these were BL dramas. Well, I'll let you decide on the latter. As we're about to see, Est was just getting started. Now, back to where it all started for both William and Est. April 23rd, 2024, when GMMTV hosted its highly anticipated Up and Above Part 2 live event, a stage for unveiling their newest projects. Fans were expecting some big announcements, but nothing could have prepared them for what came next. As part of the event, Lycan took the stage alongside Pond and Jung, performing their song Charm. It seemed like a typical music segment, a fun performance from GMMTV's rising idols. But as soon as the song ended, GMMTV blindsided everyone. They dropped the very first trailer for ThamePo. No one saw it coming. Up until that moment, there had been zero rumors about Lycan members starring in a full-length drama, let alone a BL series featuring a brand new couple pairing. The shockwave through the audience was instantaneous. Fans were losing it. What started as a simple music performance had transformed into one of the biggest surprise announcements of the night. With William coming from an idol background and S from professional sports with only acting support roles to date, this pairing was unconventional. But that's exactly what made it so intriguing. Fans were eager to see how their contrasting experiences would translate into their on-screen chemistry. For those who may have not watched ThamePo or even know what it's about, the plot is what makes it even better. Po, a struggling filmmaker, is assigned to create a documentary about Mars, a boy band on the brink of disbandment after their final concert. As he immerses himself in the project, he grows close to Thame, the group's leader, who is preparing for a solo debut in South Korea. As their bond deepens, Po finds himself developing feelings for Thame, despite knowing that a romance could jeopardize Thame's career. Meanwhile, Thame faces the challenge of leaving behind his bandmates, Dylan, June, Nano, and Pepper, while unresolved tensions threaten their final moments together. Determined to mend the rifts within the group, Po steps in to help, leading both him and Thame to confront their personal struggles. Through it all, they discover healing, understanding, and something more in each other. Well, we waited and waited. 2024 was coming to an end, and yet still no official release date announced. Even before the show aired, fans had already made up their minds about William and Est. Some were calling them the next big thing, even joking that they might ruin all other GMMTV couples for them. Everyone also seemed to be curious if it was going to be WilliamEst or Est William.
จริงๆ S William หรือ William S S William S William S William อยู่แล้ว S Lego ครับจบ
Although this doesn't serve much importance in the way people think, like who's top or bottom. Production companies know that if they don't set it, then fans will anyway, so might as well control the narrative. This also creates easier to follow trends for business and social media. And since the CPs are essentially their own brand with mascots and colors and everything, it makes sense to have a consistent name. Also, William is GMMTV's golden boy right now. Like I said before, he's so young, multi-talented, they probably weren't going to put his name anywhere else but first. Especially since ThamePo almost didn't happen if it weren't for him. ThamePo had been in development for 5 years, but kept getting delayed because they couldn't find the right cast. At one point, they completely shelved the project until GMMTV saw William in Project Alpha. That was the moment everything changed. However, the hardest part was still finding the right Po, and in the end, the entire cast and crew believed that ThamePo was always meant to be William and Est's project. They weren't just randomly cast, but they were handpicked. Imagine being cast in a role that had been waiting for you for 5 years. That's what happened to Est, and even he didn't believe that he was the right choice until the director told him something that would change everything. The character waits for the cast, and the cast waits for the character. And finally, in the final weeks of 2024, we got ThamePo. Fans immediately picked up on their undeniable chemistry on screen, the way their body language, expressions, and subtle interactions felt genuine. It wasn't forced, and it wasn't just about the romance. There was a natural push and pull dynamic between their characters that felt believable. Even though the majority of ThamePo's cast weren't originally actors, the performances were shockingly good, exceeding expectations. Fans were impressed, with many saying they'd never expected William and Est to deliver this well for their first major project together. I could go on about the show itself, like the cinematography for one thing, but this is a WilliamEst video, so we'll keep the focus on them. But seriously, you could just mute the show and just watch how pretty it is. They did amazing with the visual appeal. Okay, back to our boys. It wasn't just their acting, it was the way William and Est carried their real-life dynamic into their work that really had people hooked. What really solidified WilliamEst as a pairing to watch wasn't just ThamePo, it was their real-life friendship. They didn't just work together, they genuinely seemed to enjoy each other's company, even outside of their schedules. Fans quickly started noticing how comfortable they were with each other, and that's when the cute moments started piling up. As a single person, standing WilliamEst may have been my biggest mistake. They're out here casually dropping a couple of vlogs on X, and I'm questioning all my life choices. Fans were already keeping an eye on William and Est, but nobody expected them to spend Christmas Eve together. Not at an event, not in a group, just the two of them building Lego sets. And it gets better. Est literally passed out mid-build, leaving William to finish the set alone. I can't even get a text back, and these two are out here building Lego on Christmas Eve. This is literally the softest thing I've ever heard. What do you mean he fell asleep? How long were they hanging out for? Speaking of Christmas, if the Lego date wasn't enough, there's a photo shoot, just something they wanted to do on their own, not GMMTV or a brand in sight.
ไม่ดีเป็นไร
During episode 0, the intro to ThamePo special where the cast sit down and talk about the series, something hilarious happened that fans couldn't ignore. When discussing their characters, William described Est as the complete opposite of Poe, saying that Poe was shy and introverted while Est is talkative and outgoing. But then, Est completely contradicted that, saying that he actually relates to Poe. He sees himself as shy and introverted, only opening up to people he's comfortable with. So, are we connecting the dots here? William doesn't see Est as shy at all, which means Est must be completely comfortable and open around him. If Est is normally reserved, but William only ever sees his talkative, energetic side, then yeah, this man doesn't realize how close they actually are. Whether they meant it or not, they low-key confirmed how naturally close they've become. In a Facts About Us interview, Est revealed that most of the photos William posts on social media, yeah, he took them. Even work-related photos, William literally asks Est to pick and edit them for him. At one point, William even joked that he should just give Est his Instagram password since he was basically running it already. And it doesn't stop there. Est also regularly asks for William's help in picking the right music for his carousel posts. It's clear their bond isn't just surface level. They rely on each other in both personal and professional ways, making their pairing feel even more natural and somewhat codependent. Then finally we got them performing live together. During the ThamePo episode 1 fan meet, they sang Good Time together. Then at GMMTV's Star Olympics event, they performed the ThamePo OST together. For someone who isn't a trained singer, Est absolutely held his own performing alongside William. Throughout the performance, they kept exchanging encouraging looks, and of course the audience was losing it. It was becoming more clear. William and Est were something special, both on and off screen. With ThamePo cementing William and Est as one of GMMTV's rising CPs, the big question is, what comes next? Was this just a one-time project for the group, or is this the start of a major shift towards acting? We've already seen some of the Lycan members land supporting roles in GMMTV's 2025 lineup, but will they ever have the time to take on a full series as a group? Or will GMMTV double down on William and Est, pushing them as lead actors while the other members continue to take on supporting roles in various shows? And what does this mean for their music career? Are they not finding the success they expected in music alone and turning to acting to build momentum? Or is this a strategic move to expand their reach in the industry? No matter what happens next, one thing is clear. William and Est have everyone's attention. So what do you think? Will they stay in the BL world, or will William, along with Lycan, make a full return to music? Let's talk in the comments.